So this guy Sang-Soo Hong's been around for a while now, and he's made quite a few movies, but this is the first one I've actually seen. It's in Korean and it's also the shortest movie I've ever reviewed. I even thought about not reviewing it because it's so short. It's like 65 minutes and it really made me think about what a movie actually is, and what counts as a feature-length film. Because I hear a lot of people talking about movies, even when talking about YouTube videos. I'm looking at you, Casey Neistat. And I don't agree that a 5-minute YouTube video is a movie. But when you get to around the 1 hour mark, that's when it starts to count in my book. And after watching this whole thing, I would have a hard time arguing it's not a feature-length film. That being said, I'm not sure it's actually a very good film. Well, first of all, it's very stripped down and stylistically simplistic. It's shot in black and white and takes place in mostly this one cafe, with a very limited cast of characters. There's like 6 of them or something. And all the scenes are basically a couple of people sitting around a table talking. Now what's interesting and a bit frustrating is that it takes a while to actually figure out what's going on. Who's actually the protagonist and what the story is. And I wish I knew the answers to that immediately. That would have made it a lot more effective. But the protagonist is not really introduced until a while into the movie. And even then it's not really clear that she's the protagonist. But it's essentially about this young woman who likes to sit at a cafe and listen to strangers talk to each other. And sort of write down things inspired by the conversations. That's basically the story here. Which again wasn't really made that clear early on. And the movie is just mostly these random conversations really, that seem to revolve a lot around suicide, death and drinking. Which sounds depressing, but for some reason it didn't really come across as that. A bit sad and melancholy maybe, but sort of touching too in a way. And as far as the narrative or the characters go, there's not much to work with here. And I honestly don't know what I really got out of it, or what it was trying to say. But I will say that it was still kinda interesting. I'm not sure why, but it did keep me engaged and intrigued. Probably because I was constantly trying to figure out what the story actually was. I was expecting there to be some sort of revelation at some point. Something that tied it all together and made it all into a coherent plot. But there's not really any of that. This is just more of a, I don't know, slice of life, snapshot of a time and place kind of story. That's more focused on emotion and feeling, I guess, than an actually compelling narrative. And yeah, it's a well-made movie. This guy knows what he's doing. But it's definitely not for everyone, or even most people. I'm not even sure it was for me, but there was something interesting about it. However, would I recommend it? Probably not, no. I'd say it's pretty safe to skip. Or if you're feeling adventurous, give it a look. You're free to do as you please after all. I'm not your dad. But I am trying to sell out, so consider liking, subbing, hitting that bell and supporting me on Patreon. Because I really need my own personal coffee shop. And hey, why not drop a comment below or check out another review? I'd appreciate it. Thanks.